Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Earliest Late Show with me, Bitota. Today I have a special guest. I'm joined by Jordan. If Jordan wants to give a little intro, who you
Yes, absolutely. Hi, I'm so excited to be here and very honored to be here as well.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. So right off the get-go, I would love to know how you got your start screenwriting, acting. Like, was it something that you always thought you were gonna do? Was it something like a skill set you acquired? Like, tell me about that.
Um, for me, so acting came first, which
Okay.
was surprising because I was actually really shy as a kid. Like in early elementary school, I was really shy. But there's photos of me like performing in front of the TV. Like I love to watch Peter Pan, and I would like do the motions, like perform in front of the TV when I was like like 3 or 4. And yet, though I was so shy around people, but in elementary school in fourth grade, my elementary school got a drama club for the first time ever. We'd never had one before, and I was like, oh, like this. The year prior in third grade, we did a little like class assignment where we were broken up into groups, and we had just finished reading a story of some sort, and we each had to act out a part of the story. And I remember like one night at home, I was like, I really want to be the main character. Like, please, God, just this one. I think I can do it. I think. And that was the first time I'd ever shown like any sort of interest in it. And so I did get to play like the little lead character in our little, there's my cat. And so when the drama club started in fourth grade, I was like, oh, like this will be a lot of fun. And so theater came first. And then when I got to sixth grade, though, for some reason, they weren't allowing sixth graders to be in the school musical.
Mm.
And so I was like, well, what? I want to keep acting. Like, what in the world? And so then I started film acting classes, and that sort of then snowballed into everything else. And then writing came along. I've always enjoyed writing. Like,
Mhm.
writing for like screenwriting came along in high school when I felt in the film industry, I wasn't getting the opportunities that I really wanted to showcase what I could do in the film acting world, or really for theater for that matter. Because we had very talented people at my high school's theater, and they were on another level and I was not at that level. Um and so I really just wanted to do something to show what I could do, and kind of took my love of stories and storytelling and got some advice from a former acting coach at the time, and turned it into a screenplay. And originally my plan was to try and sell the screenplay, and it was a feature screenplay. I mean, sort of by today's standards, it was much longer than a short film. So right now, maybe it would be considered a long short. It ended up being an hour and 14 minutes is what the finished product was.
Okay.
So whatever you consider that. But I was originally going to try to sell it, and then 3 days passed after I finished writing it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it because I don't know if I trust anyone else to do this. And since then, throughout filmmaking, I found that screenwriting was really my favorite part of the filmmaking process for sure, other than acting, on
Yeah.
the screen. And so yeah, that's kind of how both of those started.
It's funny. I like relate to you so much in like how I started. Like I was in school and I wanted the lead of the play, and it was like male main character leads.
Our fifth grade show was James and the Giant Peach, and I got to be Centipede, and that was so much fun because that character is so arrogant and
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
yeah. Speaking of all the acting creative endeavors, like how is being like a multi hyphenate, like doing screenwriting, acting, and like kind of different facets of it? How do you think it's like led you to the opportunities you've gotten, or has it been hard to kind of manage and balance all of those?
I mean, it definitely, I feel like they influence each other. Like when I'm writing a script, I can read it out loud to myself and then look at it as an actor and be like, does that sound okay? Or do I read that out loud and go, that doesn't I wouldn't say that. No one would say that. And so you sort of take like the character work that you do as an actor and you put it into the writing side to say, does this arc make sense for the character? But then when you're reading a script or you're acting in something written by someone else, you can
Yeah,
also look at it from a screenwriter's perspective, going, okay, I see the arc here. I see where the midpoint is. I see what's going on. And those help influence each other. And then through when I was filmmaking, which I don't do as much anymore just because I found my niches in there. But from time to time, I will, for those, like when it comes to directing, being an actor yourself, like you're like, okay, what is the best direction I could be given if I was in this situation? You don't walk up to an actor and just be like, just be more mad. And they're like, what? Because I've gotten that direction before. I've gotten the direction of like, just be sad. And I was like, what? what is that? Sad looks so different. And so you kind of learn how to what your directing style is, and then how to sort of word that to your actors in a way that they will take it well and they can understand it, because every actor is different too. You can tell one actor one thing and they're like, oh yeah, got it, and then the other actor will be like, can we reword that, because I am not getting
Mhm.
it. So I feel like they all very positively influence each other, which can be really great for working, working in multiple aspects.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of film and acting, I feel like you'll be good at this game. It's called the log line challenge, and I have a few
Okay.
log lines written out. They're random log lines, and you're just telling me who you think would be cast in it. You could add some like ensemble characters, but like who
Okay.
who would lead a movie about this?
Okay. The true test is, do I remember actors' names that I
But
enjoy? Because
I'm like that too. I'll see someone's face and I'll be like, I know that guy.
you're like, that person, the person who played this character.
Exactly.
Go.
The person who played the soldier in the yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, let's dive in. The first one is a woman in her late 20s who can be quite naive gets caught in the middle of a bank robbery and accidentally becomes an accomplice.
Ooh, okay. So the first person who came to mind when you said for the main character for the woman is, I thought of Selena Gomez, since she's in that
Okay.
show Only Murders in the Building. I
Yes.
thought of her because she has. I mean, I watched her on Wizards of Waverly Place growing up and loved her
Yes.
in that.
Mhm.
So I think she could do really well with that. Or Florence Pugh.
Okay.
Either
I
one of
can
them, I think. And
those
then
are really good.
thank you. They're right off the top of my head. And then for like, I mean, obviously you've got to have the bank robbers in there.
Mhm.
I feel like, oh my gosh, Batista, who
Yes.
plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like he would be really good. But as like a comedic relief one, like he like takes his job seriously, but is also sort of the like goof of a group. Yeah, he's one person who I thought of, and I want to think of one other like bank. Who else? Who else could be a bank robber?
Hmm.
That's like, well, and bank robbers don't. I don't. There's really no look for bank robbers.
I mean,
So
I was thinking of like Ocean's 8, like maybe like Sandra Bullock or
yeah,
something like
yes, yeah, going a direction. Yes, that would be a fun like twist on the genre. Yeah, I like that. I think that's who I can see in my head.
okay, we'll go with that. That's the cast. We're casting
That's the
them.
cast.
Okay. The next one is an introverted man in his 30s discovers he has a long lost sister who happens to be an international superstar.
Okay. Um, First person I thought of for the introverted man is for some reason, um, Thomas Brody Sangster.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he can play those sort of introverted roles really well.
Mhm.
And then international superstar sister, there's a oh my god, hang on, I gotta look up her name real quick just to make sure I'm getting it right. I think I am. Yes, Haley Seinfeld.
Yes.
That's who I
Yes.
immediately thought of.
She was very multi-talented, pop
Yes,
star,
and
actor, all of
I've seen her, she's amazing, and I love her love her so
it.
much.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think
That's
those
a
are the 2 for
perfect
that
cast.
one.
Love that. Okay. We're going into teen movie territory.
Oh, this is my territory. This is my
Yes.
territory. Yep, okay.
Okay, a high school senior is mistaken for a runaway criminal and has to prove they didn't commit the crime.
Does it matter, like, any gender for that lead character?
Anyone, just a
You
high
know
school.
what? I right now am obsessed with Wednesday, so I'm gonna say Jenna Ortega. Because I
Ooh.
think she has shown so much versatility in what she can do in everything else she's been in. I think she would kill it in there. Obviously she's got to have some people that she meets along the way.
Yes.
So I would say, oh, I think I want to see these two in a movie together so bad. I want Millie Bobby Brown to be someone who she runs.
Ooh, that could be a fun
Um,
dynamic.
yep, I want them to sort of have to go in on it. Or for the real twist, maybe Millie Bobby Brown is the one who actually committed the crime, and
Ooh.
yeah, a little twist in there. And then who else would I want to throw in there just for, oh, you got to have a teacher. You got to have some sort of teacher in there. I don't know, that gets situated. And he's never played a teacher type before, but I honestly think it would be interesting to see him do it. Would be Dylan O'Brien. I want to
Okay.
I know that's a really weird choice, but I see him as like the drama teacher, And I know
Okay,
he wouldn't. It would be one of those cameo situations where it's really not because they're on the run, so it's like
yeah,
probably just the beginning of the film or something.
I
But
could see that. The first
yeah,
person that came to mind when you said teacher was I don't know if you watched Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld, but Woody Harrelson
yeah, yep,
great. He's like the
yes,
perfect, like, I don't care what you do, but like I care sort of
yeah.
moment.
Just as long as you don't break the law, break anything, or break yourself,
Yeah,
we're good.
yeah, we're exactly. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, another teen movie, but this is like a rom-com type of log line. Like a
Okay.
cynical teen is snowed into a local cafe where the school's popular kid works as a barista.
Oh, okay. All right. Snowed in. Okay, and then popular as a barista. I think I'm gonna switch the normal probably gender roles here that you would think of because I don't know. For me in my head, I would think that the person who works at the coffee shop would be a guy, and I'm gonna say no. I think we're gonna switch it. So it's guy who gets snowed in. For the barista or the girl who works there. Or no, sorry, I just said I was gonna switch. No, I will do the girl as the barista. Sorry, my
Okay.
brain's all over the place.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna have to throw in. She just happens to be a good friend of mine, but I honestly think she would do very well in the role. My friend Aria Brooks. She's
Okay.
just in Better Nate Than Ever and High School
Yes.
Musical Musical season 3. I think she would do very well in a role like that. And then for the person who gets snowed in, you know, I am. Who am I leaning towards for that? Um, there's so many options. So many options. Um, hmm. I'm thinking. I feel like there's a face in my memory. Oh, you know who I would do? You know who I would do? And I've got to once again look up the name. Um, I've got to look up the name real quick. But I am gonna turn that into an LGBTQ plus, and I'm
Okay.
gonna do Emma Myers, who plays Enid
Oh,
in Wednesday.
I could see that. That's a
I
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
could
why, but I think that I think that would work.
I could yeah, I could see the blending of personalities. It'll be an interesting dynamic to watch.
Yes, and snowed in. That always makes things so much more interesting.
Exactly. They're forced to be there.
Exactly.
Okay, we have two more.
Okay.
This one is a young boy discovers a mysterious book that uncovers that his parents may have kidnapped him as a child.
Ooh, okay. Young boy immediately who came to mind. I swear I'm having to look up all these actors' names.
You're good. Me
I
too.
thought of Jackson Robert Scott, who plays
Okay.
Bodie Locke in Lock and Key. He also played
Okay.
um oh my gosh. The the brother in It
It.
2017. Can't
Oh.
think of his name right now, but the one who gets pulled under Georgie. Goodness gracious. I think of him for the boy. As for the parents, this is where it comes to I'm terrible with adult actors. I am the worst at all. I'm literally terrible. So for that one, I'm just gonna fail on that one, and he's just
No,
gonna be
you're
the only one I guess in that one.
it's okay. It's a casting call. Anyone could.
Exactly. Open casting call. Everyone come out.
Okay, last one. This is giving very Hallmark, or it could go indie, I think.
Okay.
But
Okay.
an aspiring author begins a journey across the country to meet their favorite poet.
Okay. All right. An aspiring author. So obviously we're gonna need the author and we're gonna need the poet.
Yes.
Um. Okay. Who do I see that's like very indie? That does feel very indie, like independent. Oh, I know who I would do. I would do, as crazy as it sounds, I would do Sabrina Carpenter because I watched her in Short History of the Long Road, which was an independent film that she did,
Okay.
and I loved that film so much. That's actually why my cat is named Nola, because her character in the film is named
Wow.
Nola, and I love the movie so much. So that's who I would cast for the aspiring author. And then as for the poet, I'm thinking of like an older woman actor. This is who I would cast, and I just had to check and make sure that this queen is still on Earth with us. I would cast Maggie Smith,
Okay.
who plays McGonagall in the Harry Potter franchise, because
Okay.
I think that's one of those, it's the at the end of the film sort of a cameo sort of situation, but I
Yes.
just feel like she could definitely portray a poet who has inspired so many people and has lived such a long life of writing
Yeah.
so much poetry. So she's who I see. I would, if she would sign on to it, in a heartbeat.
I could see it. I think you're perfect casting. You should be hired right now as a casting director.
Thank
Like,
you. Hey, that's why, that's the other part of the
yeah,
filmmaking process that I love is the casting. So
yeah,
I'll take it.
yes, I love it. Okay, we're gonna dive into some more questions.
Okay.
The first one, kind of what you touched on it a little bit when we were playing the game, but like just on visibility and acceptance in the industry, because I know you are open about being autistic and asexual,
Mhm.
and there's definitely been some changes in the past few years in casting and incorporating artist identities into roles. But I would
Mhm.
just love to know your experience in that and have you see more visibility on your end.
I definitely have not seen any for asexuality.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're working on it. But that's one of those stories that, or one of those identities that you really, really need to have either someone in the writer's room or someone looking over the script to say, like an asexual person to go, yes, that, that tracks, or yes,
Yeah.
that sounds correct, or hey, that's not looking, you got to change that. Because even though everyone's experience is different, there are some things that you're like, yeah, let's not do that. So if we can just make more space for that in the industry, I think that is a big key difference to that. And then um, for autism, they're trying, they're
Yeah.
trying, and there's something to be said for trying. But there are so many actors and creatives who are autistic, and some of them, I mean, I didn't know it until I was 19, and then I was like, oh, everything makes sense now. So I definitely can see where some places are trying to incorporate that.
Mhm.
Just once again, it's a matter of getting those people in the writers room, or making sure that you're checking back with that community to say, hey, how is this sounding? Are we doing our research correctly? Are we making sure, just like how for me, if I needed to do research on something, I would be reaching to the ends of the earth, whoever I needed to, and running it by them to say, does this sound correct? First of all, too, though, it depends on what it would be, but I would not be writing those stories. I would not try to
Yeah.
write a story about someone who is a person of color dealing with their life being a person of color, because I cannot. No, that's not, I don't have, it doesn't matter how much research I do, I'm never going to be able to write that in the same way that someone who has that lived experience would be able to.
Yes.
And so
Mhm.
there are some things you can do research on, like autism, asexuality, you can do research on those things, but there are certain other things that you can't. And so I just think opening it up more, as I said, to more of research and just being on the lookout more for those stories and just being more open to those ideas is kind of where we need to head to. And I think the industry is certainly becoming more accepting and we're opening it up. It's just a matter of kind of then shoving ourselves into those places and being like, no, 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 like we're here, we're good, you don't need to be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
that didn't work, let's chuck it out the window. So yeah, I mean, I know too, anytime I read asexual representation, especially in books or see it in media, I burst into tears because I'm like, oh my god, like that's exactly what I've wanted to see on screen.
Yeah, it's so crazy because even a lot of communities feel the same way you're feeling. Because I just saw an interview with Jenna Ortega
Mhm.
Wednesday, and she was, like, on the verge of tears and, like,
Yeah,
crying, thinking about all the little girls, even seeing little girls that look like her doing, like,
yeah,
the thing from Wednesday, like because they didn't
yep,
have that before. And they still
exactly,
don't have, like, a Disney princess in a lot of senses of the word, and, like,
yep,
they don't have that person to look up to, and for her, growing up and not having that and being that representation for someone else means a lot, and I think a lot of
yeah.
people kind of share the same feelings that you're saying. But
Hmm.
leading into recognition and everything, I love to have people share their wins and their wants because I believe there's power in saying your accomplishments, power in saying the things you want out loud. So I'd love to hear a little bit about the things you've accomplished this past year and something you would want to accomplish in the next.
Yeah, so one of my biggest accomplishments this year was getting literary representation, which was very
Yeah.
exciting, and that was completely out of the blue. So that was a huge win for me this year. I wrote two features this year, which was a big win as well. And I also went to the American Film Market in California this year, which was really awesome. Got to have some great meetings, talk to some awesome people there. And then for this upcoming year for Wants, I have a ton of story ideas running around my mind right now. And so I've got them sort of listed out. They're like really rough log lines to what's, kind of what's next to write those. So I hope to work my way through a few of those. Maybe 3 or 4 is kind of my goal. I'm hoping to get through 3 or 4
Okay.
this upcoming year. So that's something that I'm really hoping for. And then um, I'm hoping that my literary managers can start continue having some successful meetings or some good conversations with people, with producers and things that they're starting to have about my screenplays and stuff on the market. So yeah, those are some of my wins and wants.
Yes. Love it. Love to hear it. And before we leave, we're going to play a quick game. It'll be rapid fire
Okay.
because it's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Okay.
And our running score is 8 out of 10.
Okay.
We thought we didn't do that well when we
I'm
did
not
that,
gonna beat
but
that. I hope we all know that right now. I'm not.
it's okay. Let's get started. Okay, the
Okay.
first one is, which one of these is not a compound word? Sunflower, teacher, moonlight, or railroad?
Teacher.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The sum of all angles on a triangle adds up to how many degrees? 90 degrees, 80 degrees, 45 degrees, or 360 degrees?
Oh my gosh. What were the options again?
90, 180, 45, or 360?
180.
180. Yes, I was
Yes.
gonna guess 90, so you're better than you're better than me. Okay. Which company makes PlayStation? Microsoft, IBM, Samsung, or Sony?
Oh gosh. S- mm, what were the second and third?
IBM, Samsung.
Oh my god, I'm between Samsung and Sony. I think it's Sony.
Sony? Okay, you're better than me then too. I was gonna guess Microsoft, so I think I'm losing this one. But which continent is least populated? Asia, Antarctica, Australia, or Europe?
Antarctica.
Yes, I feel like it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if people live there. Um, what do the stars of the United States oh, what do the stars on the USA flag represent? Cities, countries, states, provinces.
States.
States. Yes. Yes. Okay. Carefully is an example of what type of word? Adjective, noun, verb, or adverb?
Adjective.
Ooh, it was an adverb. It's
Really? And
okay.
I'm a writer. Okay.
It's
Nice.
okay. I'm bad at, I don't know the terms of things.
I forget what an adverb is.
We're
So
still on a good streak. Okay.
yeah.
What superhero is weakened by kryptonite? Aquaman, Batman, Superman, or Wolverine?
Superman.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Pythagoras. Oh my gosh. Pythagoras theorem relates to what shape? Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras.
Pythagorean theorem?
It just says Pythagoras.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Relates to what shape? Square, hexagon, triangle, or circle?
I'm gonna go with the square.
Oh wait, I completely missed an option. I was supposed to say triangle, and
Oh.
triangle was the answer.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think I would have gotten it
I
anyway.
think that was still on me, but I didn't know I knew Pythagorean theorem, but I didn't know what Pythagoras was.
I didn't know
So
fifth graders learned about that. So
I,
I'm impressed.
yeah, I'm impressed too. Okay, what country has a large population in the world? Russia, China, USA, or Brazil?
Okay. I'm gonna go with China.
I think you're correct, and you are. Okay,
Okay,
last
I was
question.
between China and Russia.
Last question is, where is the coldest location on Earth? Antarctica, Belgium, Denmark, or Dublin?
I'm gonna go with Antarctica because
I'm feeling Antarctica too.
I feel like
Okay.
I'm wrong.
Yes. I think we tied the high score. It was 8 out of 10. But
Yes.
I think it's more like you got 8 out of 10 and I probably got 5 out of 10, but it's okay. Okay,
Yay.
before we close out, I'd love for you to plug your socials, anything coming up that you want viewers to know about, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, biggest thing coming up that I'm really excited about is I have been hired to professionally rewrite a pilot, which is exciting. Who knows? Who knows if it's gonna, go anywhere? It doesn't matter. I'm just excited to have the opportunity.
Mhm.
On the acting front, I'm really excited. There's a film called Jealousy that I filmed this past summer that I believe will be coming out spring of 2023. I don't know how exactly. I think it's gonna go in the film festival circuit, so probably won't
Mhm.
be available publicly for a while, but I got to play my favorite character to date now. Her name's Molly. I am obsessed with her and I love her so much. And she's got problems, which is great.
We
Because
love
don't
it.
we all?
We love a
And then
fun.
as for my socials, my Instagram is at jordan.page.s. So is my TikTok, exactly the same thing. I don't really use Twitter that much anymore, but it's JP Suddeth. And then I think my IMDb is just Jordan Paige-Suddeth with the hyphen in between Jordan and Page. And then my website is jordanpagesuddeth.com, and that's really where all of my stuff is, everything that I do, and all of that. That's pretty much it. And I don't think there's anything else coming up that I know about right now. So that's
Who knows?
that.
More will be in the work. But
Yes.
thanks so much for joining us, Jordan, and everyone watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and keep up with new interviews coming out with new guests. And we're so excited to have you on today, Jordan.
Yes, thank you. I'm so honored and I'm so excited.
Thank you so much.
Of
Okay,
course.
bye everyone.